making this video to demonstrate how I attach sources to Family Tree using record hints. I am using Google Chrome to do this demonstration, but similar options also exist in other browsers. My mouse has two buttons, a right and a left button, so I can right-click on the mouse and left-click on the mouse. And I am going to be using both of those clicking options in this demonstration. The view I get of Family Tree is called a window, and here at the top of each window are what is termed tabs. Think of these like file folder tabs. I can left-click here at the top and open a new tab. I can then work on that new tab, but anytime I want, I can still go back to my original tab and continue working there. I can also right-click on any open tab and select the word duplicate from the drop-down menu and get an identical screen to the one I was using. This identical screen will also have the same browsing history, so I can use my forward and back buttons. Anytime I want to close one of these tabs, I can do so by clicking the X on the tab. For this demonstration, I'm going to attach record hints to Althea. First, I'm going to duplicate her page. That way, if I need to peek back at her details, I can do that just by clicking on the appropriate tab. Over here in the record hints, I'm going to click Show Details. The person page can only show 3 record hints at a time, so this Details page will reveal all record hints on a single screen. Now what I see many patrons do is left-click on the record hints that appear. However, I instead am going to right-click on the record hint. This gives me the option to open the link in a new tab, and I left-click on those words, and you'll notice as I select that, it starts loading a new tab here at the top of my screen. If I then click on that tab, I can see that it is loading that source information for that record hint. Now that sometimes takes a minute to load, so instead of waiting for it to load each time, I'm going to come back to this page and I'm going to just work my way down my list of sources. I'm going to right-click and then I'm going to left-click. Right-click on the link, left-click, open the new tab. Right-click, left-click. Now, you're going to see that I have all these sources open across the top of the page, and I can just move right between those. Now, something I find when I'm attaching is sometimes my computer takes a minute to do that and to open different screens. So I'm just going to come over here and left-click Attach to Family Tree, and while that loads, I'm going to the next tab, and I'm selecting Attach to Family Tree on each of those tabs. Then I'm going to come back to my first one, and I can see it's still loading. That's okay, they're all loading here at the same time. It comes up, I want to take a quick look at it, make sure I agree that this is where the record should be attached, and then I can click Attach, and I click Attach again over here. And then while that's loading, I'm going to go to my next record and click Attach, look and make sure I agree they're the same person. Yes, go ahead and attach them. This one, right here's my Althea. I'm going to click on her, click Attach. I agree these are the correct people, so I'm going to attach. And the nice thing about this is it takes a minute for it to get attached, but I can just keep working while it does the loading. Then I'm going to come back to my first one. I'm going to attach it to her husband, Leo, as well. My next one needs attached to Leo. Here I want to attach it to her mother. It's already attached to her father. Attached to her husband, and attached to her husband. Then I'm going to come back and check on my first link. It has loaded. I'm not going to load these children at this time because they're not even 100 years old yet. So I'm just going to click the X and close that. This one I've loaded everything I want, so I'm going to click X. Everything's loaded on this page. I can close it. I'm ready to close this one. and ready to close this one. Now, since I know I've attached all of these record hints, I'm going to go ahead and close this tab as well. Now, you'll notice that her record hints are still showing up here in the Research Help section, and I simply can fix that by reloading the page. So I just reload the page, and it comes up telling me there are no pending hints for this person. I want to show you a slight variation that I sometimes use with this technique. If I go to her husband, Leo, I notice he only has 2 record hints, so that must be all the hints he has, because this page would show 3, and I can use that same technique. I would just right-click on the link, open it in a new tab. Right-click on the link, open it in a new tab. Then come up here. I'll wait a minute for this to load. Sometimes it's worth checking to see if the other link loaded any faster. It hasn't. And then I can just click attach, and while that's attaching, I'm going to go click attach on the next page, and I'll come back and check. This one's loaded, so I can close it, and my second one loaded, so I can close it. Now I'm back to Leo. And there's one other way that I use this method, and that is I use it in the tree as well sometimes. So let me come over here to Bertha, Mary, and Richmond and show you how I use that same technique on just the tree view. Because this tree view has record hints on it. So I click that record hint option, and I can see she has a bunch of sources. I'm just going to right click and then left click to open in a new tab. Right click, left click, right click, left click. Then I come over here and let the first one get loaded. And then this is definitely my relative. I'm going to attach to her. While that's loading, I'm going to come to the next one, attach to her. I'm just going to keep going through these. Attach. I'm going to need to come back here and get those two attached, but I can do that after that loads. Get all of these started. Then I can come back and I can say, okay, I'm done with that one, I'll close it. Done with that one, I'll close it. This one I still need to attach her husband. That's going to take a minute to load. I'll move over here. Let that load. Move over here and let that load. Come back and see if we're loaded, and just keep working through those. So for me, this method saves me some time in that I don't have to wait for pages to load. I can still be working while pages are loading. One other trick I want to show about this, you'll see here that I've attached 3 of the people from this record, but there are still these folks down here. It turns out I would recognize that this is her husband. I can click change, and I can switch this over to Harriet's name. And then that loads her husband into a place that I can go ahead and attach it to him as well. Once that attaches, I can come down here, switch over to her husband. His parents aren't linked in yet, so I could go ahead and add them from this location. So just another little shortcut. That concludes my video. Thank you for watching.